Alright guys, how's it going? It's Tone here, and today we're back here with more Arcadia. I believe this may be the final episode, because I know it's roughly 2 hours long. So it might be the last episode, might not be, but it's a good game so far, man. I've actually really enjoyed it. Okay, after that, the days seem to be just passed me by. I guess it just showed how much energy I was putting into that stupid bet with Eris. The whole business is behind us. All I've got now is just a regular work at Arcadia. God knows there hasn't been a sudden new customer born because of our efforts. It's the same as it always was, except now things feel different. Time's getting all funky in very unfamiliar ways. For the first time in my life, I'm about to slow down and breathe. There isn't any crazy expectation to prove myself now. Both myself and Eris failed what we were setting out to do. But at the same time, as I'm paying attention, it seems like it slides past me by nonchalant haze. I came to work in the evening, spend what feels like seconds waiting tables, cleaning the floors, listening to Eris sing for really the first time, and then bam, it's morning. All that time implodes into one instant, nothing has changed but. I get back home feeling better than I have been for a long time. Strange if I haven't actually accomplished anything different. Either something's gone weird with a high energy quantum, whatchamacallit, at the nearest university, or I'm sinking to a routine again, only comfortably this time. As much as I'm all cohesion, the first space continuum, I really don't know how I feel about this new development. Everything feels right, but old habits are desperately telling me to flee. I'm all too tired, there's something bound to go wrong. There goes another night. My shift's over. I say goodbye to Parker, pick up my jacket off the hanger, and leave through the front. But not before waving kindly to the guy with the pink bangs who leaves big tips. The air's warm and moist outside. In fact, the sounds of the city at this hour feel quite distant from the cool hum of music coming from Arcadia. Thankfully, it has been too long as to walk to my apartment. There can't be a trek on practically hard working days. Maybe it's the day-to-day routine getting to me, but I feel myself itching to change something about today. For the sake of a change of pace, I decided to head to the nearest bus station. Thankfully, I catch a bus bench on the outside street. I sit down, stretch, and glance out at the timetable to see when the next bus is arriving. Despite the sign just being all dust and scratches, it's still refreshing to catch some tangibility to the world around me. Still, there were those annoying little white bars that tell me the sign I'm seeing is probably a decade out of date. If you don't want to wait long, you're supposed to pull out your display to check an updated schedule. I guess it's getting late enough to check. I reach for my pocket to check my phone. Huh? What the? Fiddling around in my pocket, in my pants pocket, then my jacket pocket, then my other pants pocket for a short minute produces little more than air. Lint and a ball of mush that could have been anything in the past life. Well, shit. I tried to trace my steps back to the beginning of my shift. I must have left it inside when Eris started on this one song. And I pulled it out to check which one it was, and well, at least it should still be in the staff only area. If I remember correctly, me and Parker's probably got better things to do than stealing his employees' electronics. And Eris wouldn't be caught dead with an end device over 6 months old. I laugh at the thought and turn back towards the club. Parker's nowhere to be seen. It seems the rest of the crowd has already dispersed for the evening. I make my way toward the staff room area, quickly spotting my phone on the table. I was about to leave there, my attention shifts towards a sight as unexpected as it uncomfortably familiar. Sitting at the table with a strained focus, almost desperate expression is Eris. Her shoulders are slumped uncomfortably, and from the wrinkles under her eyes, you can imagine she's been here a while. Her lips are trembling in frustration. Her foot's tapped, whatever that word is, on the ground in an uneven pace. When the ways her eyes are fixed on the thin air and how she's waving her hands is one of how intense web surfing season she's doing. I pull up my phone to check. For the display, the main windows and screen floating in the air is in front of her becomes clear. Online shopping while at work? What's the matter? Parker forcing too much overtime on you? Stops waving, minimizing the window in front of her of the habit of a brisk flick of her wrist, and turns the baleful stare towards me. Fuck you, my shift's over. If you got nothing good to say, shut up or buzz off. At least she stumbled back at that, as if I nearly tripped. It's not just how forceful she is, and she is. It's unexpected that reaction was. I haven't seen her like that since overtime at AR Tech. Which, given the circumstances, does not make a lot of sense. That's not like you. Something's up. Eris opens her mouth to promisingly weak lash out again, but she holds her tongue. I'm just tired and frustrated right now, Rowan. I don't have time for this right now. Maybe I could help? Please just leave me alone. I think back towards the last conversation we shared with each other, and frankly, I was a bit of an ass. Yet despite never really being on the right foot, I can see where Eris is coming from all these outbursts. Hell for the whiskey tasting evening, I'm surprised I didn't snap more than the last time Eris brought it up with me. Okay. Well, I just wanted to apologise for last night I snapped at you. I was under a lot of stress too from the failed evening, and it was unfair of me to lash at you like that. I hope you finish what you need to. Just remember to turn off the lights when you're done. I turned to go, not really sure what I was expecting, but I finally apologised nonetheless. Just to start moving forward. Wait, Rowan. I stopped and turned back to her. Apology accepted, and I actually really could use your help if you still be up for it. Yeah, I would be. That's great to hear, and thank you. She proceeds to show me her device screen with a few menus open. So far I'm looking to try to upgrade Parker's old stuff, the right way this time. How so? Well, I think about buying a firmware upgrade and a few more UBS 5s cables to make things smoother around here. Seems fine to me. Did Parker approve the change this time? He did actually. Just so long as I don't go too overboard again. I shoot over a sly grin. Well, alright then. USB 5s are a dime a dozen nowadays, and the firmware upgrade should be free. But I actually have a question about that. Eris shows me her screen again, pointing at a webpage about a certain software suite. Parker software is some open source version of Omni Sound. All the plugins I can find don't support the newer versions. Okay, let me take a look. Swipe it over to my device. Eris pushes the link over to my phone, and I skim over the software she's looking at. Ah, I see. Flash Studio 2 is good software for what it's worth, but the interface is a pain in the ass. You used it before? I've dabbed a bit on it, but dabbled a bit of my own. I think I have a config, if that might help. I can bring it in tomorrow if you... Oh god, please, I've tried looking everywhere. Sure, I'll be able to grab it before my next shift. That's great. Which also means I can actually go home and rest. Try not to work yourself too hard, Eris. But what I've seen, you're doing far more than enough for Arcady. I'll take note of that. And hey, Rowan. Yeah? I really appreciate what you're doing. I'll see you tomorrow. She nods my way and then proceeds to work her way to the arcade staff room. It's a nice feeling to be left with a smile on your face. Seeing Eris is so fucking uncharacteristically cooperative gives me enough of an energy boost to be able to walk home a second time. If this is the start of a new partnership between the two of us, I really am looking forward to tomorrow. That said, the way it closed then, hopefully it wasn't the end. The next day I walk in to see that unsurprisingly Eris is already here, and hard at work on the console. Hey! Eris, what did I say about working yourself too hard? Well, I appreciate the concern, but I'm fine. I'm actually far too excited to work on this, especially now that I have your help to do it. By the way, did you bring the goods? I flashed my phone and an uncertain smile over to her. Got it here. Here, I'll send it you to via NFC. And Eris' internal AR connects my phone and grabs the file, and proceeds to immediately start working. Okay. What I need to do now is... What that needs to be done now is work now is set up. Okay. Yeah, things covered for now, right? Yeah, at least until I'm done. Oh, I'll holler at you if something catches on fire. Good to hear. Keep in mind that we actually do have work soon. I'll try and be extra careful then. The Flash is already in their own worlds, but at this point I'm okay with that. While Eris gets cracking on the AR platform, I decided to clean around the tables, wiping down each one out of habit before the start of the day. On one of the tables though, I noticed something I never expected to actually see. Someone filled out a comment card that wasn't picked up. That's rare. The few we see have only come from loudmouthed tourists, who unsurprisingly always had something very strong and loud to complain about. Still curious to flip it over and start reading. I'd really like to have seen more vegetarian options on here. Expecting yet another harsh complaint, I'm actually met with something that's a pretty valid suggestion. Not for much in terms of healthy eating aside the fries and 2 salads. Wonder if Parker has any more of his cards stashed away. I head back to where Eris is working. Her position still unchanged. Any progress? Some stuff I'm trying to figure out something out. Some that I'm still trying to figure something out. I still can't seem to. She glances my way, suddenly started to find that I've been standing there. Ah, sorry Ronan, what's up? Just wondering, do you know about Arcade's feedback cards? No, not really, why? Well, I found a card a customer wrote up. I had a decent suggestion to it. I handed the feedback card and let her read it over. More vegetarian options? Now that you mention it, the menu does seem to be a few decades out of date. And therefore Arcady's main menu could have been an issue. I guess it would be a good idea to offer future customers some variety of their goods. Not everyone just wants to come here to get drunk and all. I was thinking I could take a crack at it while you worked on the AR system. I mean, business always starts pretty slow in the morning anyway. It's a cool idea, Rowan. Just don't turn into another whiskey testing night. Ah, right, I'll keep things realistic this one. Well, good luck with your end. I think I just have things figured out on mine. And with that, she's already back to throwing her Arcady's AR console. The only thing else to do, I steal a menu from the Contend desk and start taking a look. The menu isn't bad per se, but there's a few places that could use some more attention. Burgers, for example. We could go black bean burger as an option. Tack on an extra 75 cents or something. Our 2 salads come with bacon? How's it even a salad anymore? A quick search online gives me 2 ideas of additional bacon-free dishes. I wrote them down so that Parker could have wider selection to choose from. So far as my end, things are looking pretty... Shit, no. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Eris angrily slap the nearby countertop. You okay? Oh, was that loud? You could raise a few disciples if you wanted to shatter eardrums. You somehow managed to look even more stressed than yesterday. Well, I'm sorry, but I put in your config file, which seems to work okay at first when the system treats it like it's not actually working. This entire thing just doesn't want to work for me. Yelling at it might contribute to a solution then. I mean, yeah, but... Rowan, I hate to always rely on you like this, but can you take a look? It kind of feels good to be relied on. What? Nothing. Just in thought, let me take a crack at this. Eris hands me the console and scoots up next to me. A little personal space would be nice. Ah, sorry. I'm just a little enthusiastic about this, that's all. She shifts back a bit, giving me some breathing room. I start checking the settings on the console. She's done a great job here of hooking up the device and getting the plugins loaded. It looks like she forgot to update the firmware. Eris, did you really forget to update this? Huh? I'm pretty sure it did, right? But I'm pretty sure the screen isn't lying. Take a look. I showed the outdated number version of the console. The sim has hopefully noted that the software needs an update in rather big font. Shit, it didn't update? Why didn't it update? You want me to run the program after rebooting it? It prompts you. I know that I guess they just decided not to update it on me. As a practical joke, maybe. Rowan, just give me a second with that. Reaches for the console, trying to tug it away from her hands. Whoa, hey Eris. Just let me do it, I'll get it done faster anyway. Excuse me, what are you, 5? Eris stops. Didn't you just ask me to help you out? What's all this? I'll get it done faster bullshit. Well, that's... You're gonna ask someone to help and then let them help you before you try to wrestle the rest of the controls back. Alright, I'm just not used to this, okay? Eris, it's stuff like this that made me hate working with you in the first place. The thought process in my mind, and it used to be my only thought on the matter. Yeah, I like to think things through for the chance to be different. Look, you keep wanting to do everything at once, but ultimately never accept help with anything. Frankly, it pisses me off to no end. No kind of work can ever get done when you're always like trying to do the work of 3 people. But you have people around you who can support you, co-workers you can actually rely on so you don't have to work these crazy hours. If you had trusted us with some of the workload back then, things might have... Rowan. The first time that I can ever recall, Eris is a loss for words. Sorry for the rant. No. I should be the one apologizing here. I got irritated at you for something I should have done. I shouldn't have. Just like all the other times back then. I guess I'm the bad guy here. You're not a bad person, but your personality doesn't lend itself well to working in the team. Well, have you ever had someone to talk to on your behalf? It's a terrible feeling to feel like you're not good enough for somebody. You're with that person for so long and then they just leave. So it's about AR tech in the end. Eris, I'm so sorry for... You know someone your entire life and you think you do. You grew up loving them. When you're finally sure that they can rely on them, they're just... It's like you don't matter anymore. Your entire family doesn't matter. And it's just them. It's not just you. Everything is left out of your control. When you sit around, nothing's going to change about that. But you're never good enough, no matter how hard you work. No matter what job hobby you have. No matter how much money you've earned. No matter... Eris? My hand reaches out on your shoulder and realize you're shaking when I touch you. It takes a few moments of breathing, which calms down enough for me to remove my hand. I'm sorry, I don't know what came over me. Takes another deep breath as if to collect her thoughts. Yeah, it can be subtly inappropriate sometimes. I guess I've gotta really work on that. But, Rowan? Yeah? She hands me the console again. I really want you to know that I trust you. So here. Take it and do your thing. Rowan? In all the years I've worked with her, I've never heard her say that before. She's meaning that something is out of her control. And the biggest twist of irony, I'm the one she's handing it to. I never had your trust in the past. In fact, you were the last person I ever thought I would rely on. It's kind of a weird feeling now. You still want me to help? Yeah, I do. I start again by checking the file location of the config file I wrote, as well as the plugins Eris downloaded. Thankfully, they're in the correct place. Once again, however, the software for the device is outdated, so it's stopping all the plugins from working until the update happens. I tap the button update and start the installation process. I call for energetic beeps later and the update completes. Oh, should be all set. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Rowan. A sincere relieved thank you. If you asked me if you was capable of some of this a year ago, I'd have laughed my ass off. But seeing it now after everything that's happened, it's really hard to feel angry now. You're welcome. Still, a few tests just make sure everything works the way you think it should. That you can do on your own. Sure, I can do that. Okay, I guess it's time to start my shift now. You can holler if you need me. Just be sure to take some time and rest when you can. You can count on me. And just like that, she's gone back to work. Yet overall, I'd say that went well. We're better than what I thought could have been possible. Keep hiccuping. The end of my shift rolls in, late hours clearing out the crowds. I try and check in on Eris, but Parker heads me off before I can. I don't know, Rowan. Sort of. Need something? I just wanted to thank you for helping out Eris earlier today. You turned out like actual co-workers. Thanks. I'm serious, you two have come a long way before each other's throats all the time. Honestly, I'm quite relieved. Would have hated to fight a lot of you. Was it really that bad? Probably not, but in my experience these kinds of feuds would tend to escalate rather quickly. Kudos to both of you for keeping a cool head. Thanks. Oh, before I forget, I want you to take a look over something. I have my hand notes and I hand over my notes and let him take a quick look. This is one of the things you talked about with Eris? Yeah, she encouraged me to go through with it. If the close budget and chef's attitude won't be a problem, I think this is actually something viable we can look into. Budget won't be an issue, but he points to a few options I have written down. These would be pretty easy to implement. Give me some time to work things out with the chefs, and I think these changes can be made. If all goes well, we can have a new menu by next week. I think the customers will like these. Well, great. I'm happy I was able to help. I appreciate that you found the time to bother with this today. I also appreciate Eris encouraging you to look into this. Yeah, I'm glad she did too. He pats me on the back and wishing me a safe walk home. I did a good job today. We both did. I try and look out for Eris, but I can't seem to find her. Maybe she really did take my advice to heart. Okay. Arcadia. Oh shit. The following day, Eris shows me her new setup of the AR system. Rowan. I was able to finish things from last night. Wanna go over things again? Your thing. Did you test things beforehand? The platform does most of the work, but I really want to make sure. No problem, but a question has been circling around my head as of late. Why are you involving me so much? Don't get me wrong, I don't mind helping out. It seems like we're working far more closely than we ever did at AR Tech. What changed? It takes a moment, looking as if she's trying to take a question in thoughtfully. Well, I was thinking about it last night we talked actually. What you said about me trusting you in the past. He shifts her body to stand a little taller. I want to change that part of me. Starting right now, I want to be able to trust you. And I hope you'll be able to trust me. I see. That's a huge leap for her, knowing her. This isn't something that she's able to do lightly. However, will this be a change that could last? Rowan? Well, it is I'm just starting to stay into oblivion at this point. I'm gracefully accept her console she's handing over to me. Nothing. Thinking about something else. Here, let me take a look. It'll just take a moment. Everything looks to be in place. She did a thorough job. Most likely she's double checked things already. Still, it feels great to have her involved on the project. It almost feels like what could have been AR Tech. Looks good to me. You did a good job making sure the audio output is hooked up. I appreciate it. Want to run a live test with me real quick? Sure. We have some time before things get busy. Okay, stay here for a moment and I'll hop on stage. Eris quickly climbs the stage and prepares herself in the center. From her enthusiastic outlook, it almost looks like she is about ready to start on her own performances. Okay, I'm testing the mic. Can you check levels? On it. Testing. 1, 2. 1, 2. Levels seem fine. No spikes or anything. Okay, any buzzing or distortion? Nada. Great. So let me do a few more tests here. Test each of the instruments on stage and make sure that they're registered correctly to the AR platform. Quite surprised you'll work with no issues. That's the first. Sounds like you tested it quite thoroughly before I came in. Well, I mean usually it's if something's working perfectly the first time, it's a sign that something's bound to go wrong. With coding, sure. I've always been paranoid that I overlooked something with my work and double check with another co-worker that had screwed up something up. Before I seemed to do a great job without any help. Because my concerned look though, I'm still really unsure why. You know people double check your work when you're at AR Tech? Well, it's part of the requirement at AR Tech. Whether a high profile company or somewhere else, I guess it's healthy to check in with someone. That's strange. I was just looking for someone who always knew what they were doing. Someone who just effectively checked the work and move on to the next task. I really looked up to you because of that. So I guess what kind of expectation was really fair on your part. I shudder. No one's perfect, you know. I think I have a better idea as to how to have you overworked me so much. But whatever's right. We're working together now, and that matters. That amounts to something. Yeah, whatever. The system works now. Was just validated by you, so I don't see a problem. I'll still verify the working code again to make sure problems don't occur down the line. Aside from that, though, any other tests you think we should need to run? Nah, I only think you have things covered here. Well, alright. Thanks again for your help, Rowan. I really appreciate it. No problem. This kind of praise is still strange coming from Eris, but I appreciate it with a smile nonetheless. Even if she might be having a little too hard, even if she might be trying a little too hard, it's still a nice sentiment. I'm gonna get ready for my shift now, so I'll catch you later. Later? Thankfully, I don't really have time to do much to prepare. Today's shift isn't anything out of the ordinary. There are 2 big schedules of any special events for that matter. There aren't as many people to worry about here. I'll let another staffer manage the regulars and decide to take the time to supply clean up to the empty tables during the lull in activity. All the while I simply focus on the newfound comfort that's settling within me. Soon enough as with the day, my shift comes to an end. Hey Rowan, quick meeting. Ark looks a little far too enthusiastic as normal. We just had a monthly meeting, didn't we? The one me and Eris were part of. Yeah, well, think of this an end of the month sort of thing I'm trying. Sure. I happen to where some of the other co-workers are huddled in the kitchen entrance. Now that you're all here, he clears his throat. This month for some creative endeavours, bring some more customers into the club. A collection of laughs escape from the mouths of everyone except me and Eris. He's going to be talking about how poorly Eris and I messed up our attempts. I'm pleased to announce that while others weren't as visible as others, doesn't mean those efforts went to waste. Where are you going with this, Parker? We received a lot of good feedback from our customers, several of which have come back regularly in this month alone. And the employees that got most feedback were Rowan and Eris. Great job, you two. He starts applauding for us, with the rest of the workers following suit. What? Why is this, Parker? A new sense of pity in your employees. This month was good to the both of you. Even after failing in your initial ideas, the two of you continued working towards Arcadia's improvements. And because of that, I felt that the two of you truly deserve some appreciation. If it's just had a small metal plaque with both our names on it. Really? A trophy? I know this is really a joke. I still can't help but beam from ear to ear and see that Eris is wearing the same reaction to her face. I'll be sure to get this hung up on the office wall so you two can gloat about it later. Congratulations again, you guys. You did a lot of hard work and I hope to see you both keep it up. Thank you. Well, thanks. Barbara claps both Eris and myself on the shoulder, and just like procedures to continue on with the rest of the staff meeting. I barely pay any attention, dumbly smiling the whole time. The meeting wraps with Parker retreating back to his office. Of his new co-workers now scattering to their usual positions, Eris and I have some time to proceed what had just happened. So Rowan, she offers her hand to me. What's this? It's my hand. I'm offering you a handshake for getting the award. I don't know if you noticed, but we won that award as well. I know that, but I still can't extend the courtesy though. Without your help, we wouldn't have gotten anywhere, so thank you. Alright, no need to inflate my ego anymore today. I reach out and grasp her hand in a firm yet gentle handshake. Good job, Eris. Good job, Rowan. So I guess this means none of us won, huh? Did I miss something else here? The bet we had between the two of us. I didn't think we'd preface what happened if we won at the same time. Didn't we call that off? Well, yeah, but don't tell me you were a little curious to see how this Employee of the Month award would turn out. I shrug. I'd be lying if I didn't really want to see the result as well. Ha, cool with it. I was just scared that I'd end up working 2 jobs. It's something that you simply get used to. But Rowan, I have to ask. If things turned out differently, Would you really come back to AR Tech? That was our deal. They want to be clear. So if you want to be clear answer, would have hated to. I see. At least I know I'll be working as a friend. Well, I'm glad things turned out the way they did. We're gonna get back to work. Gotta keep that title somehow, right? Right. Let's do it. Turns out our antics managed to get us praised for our work. They were the best outcome that I had asked for. This inner sense of comfort isn't too bad after all. Alright. Got a nice little ending there. Well, I'm assuming it's the end anyway, unless there's more coming. I don't see where else we can go with this. It's hard to believe how quickly a few weeks pass when you're not paying attention, but for the first time in my life, I'm not worried about the time that's being wasted working at Arcady. Whether it's the atmosphere, the new surge of customers, or even any relationship that with the staff I never expected, every day to be a privilege. It's almost like I finally found... You're currently driving 10 miles per hour over the speed limit. It's advised to slow your current speed but before authorities are alerted. Something's never changed though. Give me a break. Can't guy be excited to drive to work for once? Please be aware that in cases of pregnancy, injury, tiredness, speeding may cause unnecessary and reckless endangerment. Being excited is still on the table then. Please be aware. Alright, I'm slowing down, you piece of garbage. Conveniently enough, I'm already pulling into Arcadia Bay. Arcadie's back. Before the machine can inform me of doing so, I've already started pulling out of my usual spot. Would you like to... You have arrived. And it took a solid month. For the most part, it seems like I finally beaten my car's navigation computer. It took the familiar back wall of the Arcady Jazz Club, then smile. Yeah, I have. Hard to believe that I'm still here. I shut off the engine and pop out my car, only to curiously meet Parker's gaze as he steps through the Arcady's back door. It takes me a moment to recognize it's me, so he sends me a kind smile and steps closer. Morning, Parker. Morning, Rowan. Morning, Roman. It's a little strange to hear you driving to work when I'm making the sounds in the kitchen. I'm just doing what you asked me to do. I'm still only a 30-minute walk away from here otherwise. Ah, the joys of being young. The club owner sets out a chuckle, shaking his head back and forth. His eyes flicker over to my car, shooting a nod over to the back seat. The take you picked up what I asked? Yeah, it wasn't too hard. I started to see a few strange looks though. You grabbed a crate of bottles from the back seat of my car and passed it to Parker, who accepts it generously. I'm very thankful for this. Grab the back door for me. I shoot him a suggested look, glancing over to the rest of the cars in the lot. You're taking it inside? Haven't changed your heart about keeping the bottles in stock? Parker shoots me an interesting look. Though once I interpret to be the upper dumbfounderment. You really want to repeat what happened before? I'm not wasting this whiskey on people who won't appreciate it. Fair point. So he shrugs as I grab the door for him. The two of us proceeding to make our way through the kitchen and to the bar. He sets the crate on the bar counter and motions for me to join him. Some of the other staff tried your whiskey and took a liking to it. I like to treat your employees at times too. He pulls out one of the bottles from the container and passes it to me. This one's yours. You're not poking fun at me here, are you? Did your whiskey night sour your taste for the drink? Well, no, but I would have bought my own bottle, right? Not much of a gift, but it's for the thought that counts. I would consider the cash I transferred you significant enough payment. Payment? I used my phone to check my balance only to realise. You do realise you're overpaid, right? He gives me a small smile and pats my shoulder. Keep up the good work, Rowan. Before I can even think about thanking him, he's already walking toward the back room. The conversation is over, and like always, it's back to being just a normal day at the Arcady. Hey, Roman. One filled with familiar sounds and people. I watched Parker leave before I turned to face Eris. She approaches me with a grin spread across her face. Looks like we have the same shift again, huh? Yeah. She's now eyeing me with a concern, then sports a usual shit-eating grin. One I know all too well. You look really out of it. I thought you'd at least be the perkier the one this morning shift. Her eyes flash over to the bottles on the bar counter, her grin fading in curiosity. What's with the alcohol? Wait, is that... I place my bottle next to the crate and pull out another one and pass it to Eris. This is yours, actually. Rowan, what's going on? I really don't know how to answer her. Well, everything's been straightened up and we have to sit some time before the morning crowd arrives. Do you want me for a smoke break? This early? I can share if you run out prematurely. He sets the bottle against mine and works her way through the same door I came from, motioning me to join her. As usual, we're outside in the same back alley, next to the same club, feeling the same air. It's just a normal day, but of course everything is different. I take a long puff from a cigarette. I really should be smoking and stare at, whatever the hell it is, at my nearby car. There's a long silence between me and Eris, though it doesn't feel awkward or hostile at this point. Being in each other's company has become a way of life at this point. In the end, I'm the one that ends up breaking the silence. What's up, Eris? Why are you in the club on a Thursday morning acting like everything's normal? Isn't it? We're doing the same thing we usually do. I'm pretty sure you've never smoked before. I'm used to cooler air out here. Well. Takes a deep breath, is preparing for some big announcement. I quit AR Tech. I need to choke my cigarette and clutch the paper a little too tightly and turned to Eris, who was nostalgically blowing smoke towards the sky. That's my news. What do you mean? What do you mean? I quit. You need to spell it out for you? You know what I mean, Eris. AR Tech was your life. In fact, it was what made me quit as well. The words catching my throat, and I'm sure she caught onto what I was referring to. That passion and drive to succeed in the company was a double-edged sword, but to see her throw it all away caselessly would mean you found another AR job? She nods. I knew I shouldn't receive the Greenway project without your help, and was about to start another one so soon. The biggest reason though was that I knew I never could work 2 jobs. I know I can't, but that's okay. Something about this doesn't feel right. Well then, are you leaving Arcady? Huh? The second AR job? When do you start working at it? I mean, it does point out that you were leaving when the words catching my throat, and as with this morning, I'm sure I want to say it. As I'm trying to search for the words, she gives me a surprised look. Don't tell me you're about to confess your love to me. Another cough escapes my mouth. No, that's not, I'm trying to compile my thoughts before getting complicated. A last echo across the walls. Eris, that's not what I was trying to say. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. But I figured something was up. So? Parker is gifting the whiskey that brought him to the staff. Though it turns out he overpaid me. By how much? A lot. Enough to leave Arcady, and even the city. I see. Well, that should be great, right? That's all you ever talked about working at AR Tech. That's all Parker talks about too. Parker talks about me leaving? Well, he mentioned certain staff members being temporary hires, so I just assumed I knew you wouldn't be staying is all. But this is all only temporary in the end, right? Yeah. I breathed and exhaled a big puff of cigarette smoke, but however, it doesn't taste the same as it used to. That's just it. Things are always supposed to be temporary. Now I have what I want, and since you're leaving Arcady, there isn't really a reason for me to stick around. My life has been against the routine, so I guess it would be weird that I don't want to leave. It seems good to say it out loud. I mean, wow, a fucking jazz club of all places. I've been trying to find something to just desperately latch onto, and this is it. So what? Is it bad that I'm never going to go back to AR Tech so I can work here? Is it okay that I don't care about that at all? I have a good thing going on here, so I'll be sad to see you go. Well, you don't have to be that sad. Worst case scenario, Parker sets us on different days, right? What are you talking about? Rom, I'm not working Thursday morning because I quit AR Tech. This is the AR job that I found, or well had. Parker offered me a higher payrolling full-time position a while back. I decided to take him up on it on his offer. You're staying then? What, do you think I'm that bad of a singer? I actually heard from Parker that I now have a loyal following with the regulars. I won't even have to work tables anymore. Not to brag, but my follower count has shot up online too. Might be to get some paid gigs at some other places. Sponsored by Arcady, of course. She blows a puff of smoke into the air, and a look of soft nostalgia crosses her face. AR improvements though, who knows? The look leaves her quickly though. Replaced by a usual grin as she knocks an elbow into my side. So spill it. You really want to think my last performance was that bad, huh? I can't keep the smile on my face. I know quite well how obvious her teasing is, but if she didn't know at me at this point, it would have been actually looked like I was making fun of her. Of course not. I'm just glad I'll still be able to walk alongside a good friend. The last of my cigarette burns away. Well, careful what you say. Might make Parker jealous after all. Two of us share a smile and a laugh. Soon enough, Parker unavoidably becomes the topic of our conversation. Let's go with that money anyway. A secret lover. Cypro currency. I wouldn't pull it past him. Or maybe he's just loading this, just running arcade for fun. But then why would he care about wanting to bring more customers in? Eris' smile falters a little, her expression shifting more in a slight curiosity. It's not like I forgot the event that would start the foundation of our current relationship. Whatever that is. Our Employment of the Month competition. Parker started that because he wanted more revenue for the club, right? She nods, now understanding where I'm coming from. So why would he set up a competition that didn't need to happen? After all, if he needed the money, then all this generosity wouldn't have been made sense up to this point. And he really wanted us to avoid fighting. Then why would he purposely put us together rather than schedule our shifts far apart? Was it really just that Eris' conflicting schedule? Or maybe, just maybe, he tried to do the best thing that no one had ever tried for us. He taught us how to listen. We should really thank him. Yeah. Or maybe just reading too far into things. Either way, Rowan? I know I've said this a lot, but thank you. Enough for being a friend to me while I didn't deserve it. Well, we both needed one. Things really did work out in the end. All that's left is my cigarette's burning nub. So I shove it into the nearby smoking recyclability. You finished smoking? Yeah, I think so. Okay, me too. Let's head inside. Our break is bound to be over already. Yeah. Either then we'll have Parker send out a search party. He could have always fired us. Now wouldn't that be something? Two of us share a laugh as we casually make our way inside. We're heading back to home, and we managed to find together. Back to Arcady, the garden of an old and new world. Nice, man. This fucking nose keeps running. Assuming that's now the end of the end. It is, okay. So, this is actually a good game. I actually enjoyed the little romance, the little interaction between the characters there. That was good. I enjoyed that a lot. But, unfortunately, good things always come to an end, so... Thank you guys so much for showing up for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed listening to my shitty ass reading skills, but hopefully it didn't ruin the game for you guys. If you want to see more games like this, hopefully you leave a like in the video, it helps me out greatly. That being said, I'm going to go sort out my nose, and you guys, hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.